to bring with a practical way and with a practical perspective, and telling for you what me as a manager for a startup accelerator and working with so much early stages, I saw is that I saw a lot of business and entrepreneurs there. They not look like ready for an investment or just go to the market. And I guess that fails so much in the building of the MVP and the building of your solution. So I'm going with a perspective to how you're going to build your vision in a MVP. I guess we will have a deeper session telling about the product and MVPs. But I, I, I guess that for a beginning and for a start, this is one of my biggest concern as a venture capital. So in the beginning, when I saw the lean startup cycle, I guess you all know the cycle, the lean startup book. But the cycle is just you have a problem, you go for an idea, build a product, and this product is you measure, gather your data, and build some information to learn, and go ahead for another running cycle, and you start to building cycles. But what the most of entrepreneurs that I face do is to validate their hypothesis in the same order in which they arise in the when they are facing the solution. So doing that, you may get big problem that what if the critical hypothesis for your solution just appear after a while? Uh, would you stop all of your iterations and prioritize this new hypothesis, this critical hypothesis? And do you gonna know if this new hypothesis is really critical for your business? You know how to say that and stop everything and try to validate this hypothesis. So this is one thing that I want to bring for you. It's a little tools. I guess it's 3 tools to work with that. And if you don't face that and you are not so much sure with the past questions that I made, your MVP will not look minimal. It because you spend so much time to feel safe to present your product. Your MVP will not be viable because you may have an unstable business model, thinking in value proposition or your partners, your revenue model, and etc. And your product may not be a real product because the customer may not feel comfortable to pay for your solution. I see a lot of business, a lot of solutions and startups that present their solution with a free tier or just non-paid access. So when you go for this strategy, your feedbacks will be much easier to digest. If you go for a payable product, your customers will give you real feedbacks of what they feel and how they are feeling about the product. I'm not saying that this strategy is not good, but you have to think about the feedbacks that your customer are giving to you. If they are paying or not, you have to look for that. So the 3 tools that I want to present for you, it's 3 steps to build an MVP roadmap or a good strategy to face your development of your product. I have a hypothesis map where you can stress all hypotheses, all assumptions that you may have in your solution in your to face your problem, and a hypothesis prioritization matrix where you can put your hypothesis and say what is a real critical and what you can just work if you can. And MVP roadmap, that is just a plan that you go and build in face of your prioritization. So the step one is quote all of your hypotheses in an exploration map. You look for your MVP in a viable way? Is your business model viable? What you the amount of you charge for your customer will be suitable for you to make money or for you to grow, or you're gonna need a venture capital money for being being up. Your product is desirable. The customers want your solutions do real solve a problem or you don't. I guess Mark gave us a great presentation about this point, and thinking about the deeper problem. And your solution, your product is feasible. And looking in a technological perspective, you are going to work with machine learning or artificial intelligence. I guess this is just a buzzword. This is just a concept that you want to insert in your solution, or you real know how the machine learning will work with your solution. I face a lot of solutions that say those things. I'm going to develop a system with machine learning to build the new way to work with students. But I don't know if you can do this, if you can solve this problem real with machine learning, because I don't know if you can solve without machine learning. Machine learning, in the most of ways, they just repeat what you program them they to do, and of course they will learn, but you have to insert your information at the beginning. So this is a point that you need to look in a hypothesis way. The step two, you build we build a matrix when we look for two variables. One of them is the level of uncertainty, and the other one is level of impact of your business. In perspective of level of uncertainty, if your hypothesis and what you say is, I guess that is, I believe that, this is, you don't know. You have an assumption. It's just an assumption, and your level of uncertainty is really high. If you have a quote that is almost like, I have some evidence that show me that you saw one or two feedbacks, you have a niche that say that this is a real problem. Okay, this is a medium level of uncertainty. And if you say, I have a strong evidence, you have a research, or you have a common sense that says that this is a reality, okay, you are pretty sure about your problem and you are working with it. When we go for a hypothesis that is built in the level of impact, if that gone wrong, if your hypothesis is wrong, what does this will impact in your solution? If that impact for a total restructuring for the business model, okay, this is critical. If you need crucial change in the business model, but do not change everything, you have the same vision, you have the same perspective, but you're going to deliver your solution in another way, and you're going to charge your solution in another way, or you're going to work with other technology. Okay, it's just medium. And if you have just changed to adapt the business model, okay, this is not so much, you have not so much impact about that. So when you go for branding, I don't know, a lot of business solution, which is a SaaS, a B2B solution, branding problem, I guess it's not that critical for changing the business model, but the charging model, the revenue streams model, this is somewhat critical for your solution. I don't know, a few amount of money that you're gonna charge for a client will make your business valuation so much bigger or smaller. So in the matrix, you have those areas, the shadowed areas, where if this is a higher uncertainty level and so much critical, you go test before any step further. You need to test it. You do not need to test in a product in a technological way. Go for your client, ask them, and look for more information. Gather more information to be sure about what you are building. The yellow shadow is test before bigger investments. You have to test it when you go to invest in people, when you go to invest in the technology, and when you go to put money in their solution, even if the investment will be your time. So if you're going to stop working in a stable job just for working your solution, test those hypotheses before. And that one, the green ones, is test when convenient. Go for testing just if you have time for it, because this is not the real problem that you are facing. And then with those hypotheses, you have to build your MVP, your roadmap of MVP. You put your critical hypothesis at the beginning, just to be sure that what you are developing and delivering for your clients is something that is good enough. And then your MVP may look a real MVP. You are going for a way that I can feel comfortable and I can trust that you are working so much good for the solution. And I saw a lot of tips and experiments that you may test for an idea, and this is just another exploration and looking for the time expand that you have for test your hypothesis. If you have just hours to test, call to an expert, build the 4 P's market model, or build your customer acquisition funnel, because when you build your customer acquisition funnel, you will know how the customer may behave in your way. If you have days, then you go for a desk research, a business plan, the usability test, feasibility test, or start to negotiate with stakeholders and partners. And then if the stakeholders and partners don't want to make business with you, maybe your solution is not good enough. If you have weeks, then you can go for a landing page, crowdfunding, prototyping with building an experience. And if you have the ability and the time, you can build a POC, a proof of concept. So that's it. What I worry the most when I saw early stage startups and entrepreneurs that have so much energy, I worry so much. I worry so much of how they are going to expand their energy, and if you expand wisely, I guess you have a great way, and you can deliver so much things good. So that's it. Thank you so much. Please, you can send me any feedbacks and can find me in after hours. You can send me any contacts just to ask questions, and that's it.